Christ. So last Wednesday we celebrated the solemnity of Saint Joseph. We didn't get around to do our learning of the Jubilee for the second part of the Jubilee for the volunteers. So today we talked about the second part, but before going to the second part, we review what we had last week. So March 8th and 9th, there was a Jubilee for the volunteers, not only in church but also for the outside society. There were about 25,000 volunteers gathered in Rome for the event. The Bishop of the United States acknowledged that volunteers are the heartbeat of every parish. So when the volunteers were in Rome, they had their conferences on the cultural, artistic, and spiritual activities. On Sunday, they celebrated Mass, but the Holy Father was sick, so he delegated to Cardinal Journey to celebrate the Mass and deliver the homily. The homily of the Holy Father was about the temptations of Jesus, how they began, how the devil attacked Jesus, and how Jesus resisted against the devil, and the result came out from that experience in the desert. So that's what we talked about last week. Today we talk about the second part of this Jubilee of the volunteer, mainly about the Angelus message. So they had Mass inside the Basilica, and 12 noon they had the Angelus outside in the square. In this Angelus message, I want to highlight some of the homily, part of the homilies of the Holy Father. First, the Holy Father thanked the volunteers for the closeness and tenderness they show others in need of their care. And the Holy Father continues saying that on the street and in homes, in the company of the sick, the suffering, and the imprisoned, with the young and the elderly, your generosity and commitment offer hope to our entire society. So we don't get to go to Rome, but the Holy Father wants to thank all of you who volunteers one way or another, because you bring hope to the people whom you serve. In the desert of poverty and loneliness, all those small gestures are helping to make a new humanity blossom in the garden that is God's dream, always and everywhere for all of us. So God's dream is for everybody to be comforted and consoled, and the volunteers are doing that. In our society, too enslaved to market logic, where everything risks being subject to criterion of interest and the quest for profit. Volunteering is prophecy and a sign of hope. While everybody is going for money and profit, volunteers offering prophecy, God's prophecy and hope for those whom we serve. The Holy Father talked about his experience in the hospital, saying that during my prolonged hospitalization here, I too experienced the thoughtfulness of service and the tenderness of care. We need this, the miracle of tenderness that accompany those who are in adversity, bringing a little light into the night of pain. Yes, when we are suffering, that's the night, that's the darkness of our night. And when we are treated and cared by the volunteers, they bring light into those who are suffering. The Holy Father continued to express his gratitude to those who are engaged in this field, meaning the medical field. Thank you for offering your time and abilities. Thank you for the closeness and tenderness with which you care for others, reawakening hope in them. And that is true when volunteers, especially in the medical field, helping others, they bring a lot of hope and joy to the suffering. And next week, actually this coming week, Rome will be celebrating the Jubilee of artists and culture and world of culture. So we'll talk about that next week. Next Tuesday, there will be Feast of the, what is it? Incarnate, no. Forgot that is.
Ascension.
The Annunciation. The 25th. So we will have it on Monday at 6:30 and Wednesday at 8:30. Thank you, and please stand.